David, Americans know that they have the right to an attorney. Obviously, we would hope, right? But in all reality, that right usually begins, technically, at least to them, only after arrest. Why did you make it your mission to bring counsel to every person at every moment of police interaction?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Eric. I'm gonna tell you what. Here's the deal. I think that we grew up, elementary school, learning civics and whatever, that, oh, you have a right to an attorney after you've been arrested. That's the Miranda. When you're
Right.
Mirandized, it sort of clarifies that. And
It's already
most
too late
people
at that
believe
point.
that's the only time you need an attorney. And well, when you start looking at the data and what the Sixth Amendment actually says, right? What the Sixth Amendment actually says, it doesn't guarantee that the state provides you an attorney anytime a police officer is questioning you, right? But if you have an attorney, you have a right to interact with that officer, with that attorney present, and with their guidance, right? So that you don't self-incriminate yourself.
And
so,
you know what? I want to preface that before you go further, because I like what you're doing, and I'm trying to think as my audience. A lot of people feel that when they say that they don't want to speak, that they're now automatically telling law enforcement that I'm guilty, or if they ask for an attorney. So if they already have Attorney Shield pulled up on their phone before the cop walks over to the car, before the interaction ever occurs, right, Sean? Then they don't even have to ever feel that need, or that feeling of saying, oh, I asked for a lawyer. They're looking at I'm guilty. You're already protected one before you get there.
Yeah, so that sort of presumption of guilt runs counter to America itself. We all learn that everyone's innocent until proven guilty by a court.
And the cops are allowed to lie to you. Let's be real.
Oh yeah, they're allowed to lie. That's part of their.
You're not allowed to lie, but they're allowed to lie to you to get the answer that they want.
That's one of their most effective investigative techniques, is to lie to you, to say that they have something in you that they don't, and then to get you to admit to it, even though they didn't have it in the first place, right? Which is why it's always important to keep your mouth shut. You don't have a conversation with an officer who's investigating you without your attorney present. That's just plain and simple. So get Attorney Shield or not,